Good morning. How are you on Monday, March 3rd? Do you believe it already? March 3rd. Where did January and February go? Although I'm very glad that it is gone and we are past it. January and February are those months where we really cocoon in. We kind of let ourselves go. And although I'm in a very relaxed state right now, I've got so much to do today on my day off. But I'm Kitra Marie. I do reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach, teach a variety of art enrichment classes. I come to you. I come to your location, or I do have a venue. But you know, the thing about March, we're about this much closer to warmer weather, the daylight staying out longer. It's getting dark now around 5:30. A couple more weeks, it'll be 7 o'clock when the sun sets, and before we know it, we will be into the thick of spring, going right into summer. They are calling for sun today, and I can feel and see the sun coming up on this side. I don't know what preset I have on this program. Might be a little bit too much, but we're going to go with it this morning. Like I said, I've got so much to do today, and I have not been very present because I have been organizing my house. I've been remodeling my kitchen through doing some painting projects, which I need to finish. My house is so clean. Closets are cleaned out. Drawers are cleaned out. My basement is cleaned. I'm gearing up for all the wonderful things that are coming this spring, and I hope you've been productive. You know, like I said, we let ourselves go January, February, but it's March. We get ourselves back into routine. We start new health regimens. We start new skin programs. We fill our Amazon cart. We look at what we can do for our yards. I've got so many different plans for my backyard this year. Once I see where the grass is going to grow, this might be the year I work with power tools. And that can be a dangerous thing. Since I can't find anybody to build me anything, I guess I will learn to do it myself. Just like my name, Kit, do-it-yourself Kit. Going over some notes this morning on my vision board class. I had one a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It was a great class. It was mostly based in career, finance, money, and inheritances, which I always find to be such a touchy subject. Any of us who are older, who are somewhere along the line, you guys all planning to remarry, do you have your finances in order? Do you have trust set up for your children? Does your new significant person feel they're entitled to your money, your bank account, your properties, your inheritances? Like I said, the class I had was really interesting because it was new wives versus grown children. And the new wives felt they were entitled by married name, that they should be given properties or whatever. It just was a really interesting class, and how entitlement plays such a role, especially when you have grown children who have lives of their own. They were there first, but their parent remarries, and it gets to the point, it's just a fact of life. We are not going to live forever. And although I always say I want to live to be 116, and I am a single woman, and, I'd like to think whatever I have will automatically go to my children. But what happens when you remarry and the person you marry feels they are entitled to what you have? There's such a conundrum between the new partner and kids. So it was quite the class. It really was. And everybody held their tongue mostly, but there were a couple older grown children who had said, why should my step parent, who, was just remarried, why do they get everything that their grandparents had worked really, really hard for to get them set up in life, or their children set up, and then the person their parental unit marries feels like they're entitled to all that. So I suggest to all of you, get a will, have a trust, have houses put in people's names in TOD, just to kind of save your ass. But here's the thing about when I am teaching a vision board class, and I think there's a huge misconception. It's more than just a cut and paste like this over here, where we find images and we find the words to match, and we look at where you've been in life and where you would like to go, and you understand you being a product of your environment, and you need to change the environment in order to have anything new or have anything healthier in your life. It's really an open discussion. It really is. It's about deep diving within what you've been through and what you can share, because your words are a lesson. Your story, somebody can compare with, somebody can relate to. And when you have a panel, and that's what I'll call my students, when you have a panel of people who are bouncing ideas off of each other, or they are talking about what they went through in their life, it's an experience held with such valuable lessons. The way that I teach, I talk about a topic. I ask you, what is important to you? Tell me the 5 most important things to you that you can put on your board. And then we go around the room and we talk about, if it is your home and if it is your family, and if, we talk about what your home looked like as a child versus what your home looks like now. And aesthetics plays a very big part in the way that you put your house together based on memory. And right now, if you're following any of the trends, the grandma trend is coming back around. We are seeing more sentimental pieces because it's bringing a sense of home. And although home isn't necessarily a place, it's a feeling. So when these gals are putting their boards together and they were talking about their home and what pieces they have and how they acquired them and the sentiment attached to it. And, in the class, it's a variety of different, it's usually women, age variances, where some of these younger girls, they have not quite yet understood the meaning of sentiment and what a piece of furniture means to them. I have my grandma's dining room set. She gave it to me before she had moved in with my aunt. She had said, I'm going to have to downsize. You've always loved this dining room set. I want you to have it. Is there anything else that you want? And I was like, no. I said, somewhere along the line, I'd like your mother's ring, but I'll worry about that, down the line. So I have my grandma's dining room. Do I have a dining room now? No. I'm hoping in my next house. At one point, I had a dining room. I have my dad's hutch, and I repainted it. Sentimental pieces that mean so much to you when you are putting your home together. On the board, we talk about finances. We talk about your money story. And, I did a video about that a couple weeks ago. What is your money story? How do you feel about money? What is your mindset? And where do you feel about lack? If you open your wallet, do you say, I only have $1? Or do you say, I have money, regardless of what's in your wallet? Do you have a coin, change purse? Being in food and beverage, I always have change. And the person that I was involved with, he had bought me an avocado change purse, and I absolutely love it. I think out of all the things over 6 years that I ever received in gifts, that is my most favorite. I got to get comfortable here. My hip's been bothering me so bad the last couple weeks. But do you carry change? How do you feel about change? And although the president was talking about getting away with pennies, We all have loose change. In fact, today, before I go meet my accountant to get my taxes done, I have to drop off $100 worth of change to my bank account. So I'm sure they will appreciate all the rolled coins. The kid and I, a couple weeks ago, we were going through Amazon, and I said, I think I need a coin depositor. So we looked through them, and he ordered one, which is real nice. So now, between the two of us, we have something where we can put our coins together so we can put it in our bank. But how do you feel about that? I always digress. You know that. I always have some story to add into what I'm doing. How do you feel about change? Change, as in cents, as in coins. Do you save it? Do you spend it? Do you get rid of it? Is it a nuisance to you? And if it is a nuisance to you, why is it a nuisance to you? What else? We talk about travel. You know, everyone says, I want to go somewhere. I want to do something. I don't have the money to do it. You know, you can still plan, and you can still try to put a little bit of money aside. You can't work yourself to death, and you can't take all your money with you when you pass. So what are you putting your hard-earned money towards? You know, do you like to fly? I do not like to fly. I don't like closed spaces. I guess I am claustrophobic. That comes from an incident from when I was itty-bitty. I don't like that. I don't like that people real close. It's a space issue. A sensory, a smell. I don't like the way airplanes smell, but in order to get from point A, if you were going far, unless you were willing to drive, you know, and I love to drive. I love to get in a vehicle and just drive and do the road trip thing. And again, that comes from with my dad. You know, he was a truck driver, getting in the vehicle on the weekends. He'd say, come on, we're gonna do this, we're gonna go there. But what does your travel section look like? What does your retirement look like? Do you plan to stay in the same place, or do you plan to go somewhere else? Do you want to relocate? I want to relocate. You know, it's about all your good intentions that you can put on your board, and then opening up a discussion to see how people plan to achieve the goal and the vision that they have in their mind. They're valuable lessons because you learn from other people. You understand other people's perceptions and perspectives and how they view life. And when you were young and you were still learning and you were still growing through different stages in your life, when you get to hear from the older ones what they've had to go through, it kind of gives your mind some reference. You know, my vision board class is open for all ages. Like I said, it is mostly women that I teach. There really is no age barrier other than I do ask that, 18 on up at $65. Sometimes a class is 2 hours, sometimes a class is 4 hours. But it's just really, really open discussion of what you feel is important to you. You know, how can you teach? How can you be a mentor to somebody else? You know, what are you doing in your community, or what are you doing in your neighborhood to better not only where you live, but to better help your neighbors? It's important to understand your value that you have on a community spirit. You know, conversations. Do you talk to your neighbors? Do your neighbors even know who you are? Do your neighbors ever come and ask you for help? All depends, again, on how you were raised and what you are experienced with due to your upbringing. My grandma, we had great neighbors growing up. The kids next door to me, they're workaholics. I rarely ever see them other than for them to leave to go to the grocery store. They work from home. My neighbor on the other side, she's a plant manager. She has a partner that lives over there. In passing, we talk. My good neighbors on the other side, I talk to them often. There's a new person on the other side of them that I don't even know. I talk to my neighbor across the street all the time. I talk to my neighbor catty corner. we all kind of keep an eye on each other, or in the event that something happens, we all kind of have a chain of conversation so we know what's going on in the neighborhood. One night last week, I needed to call the police. There was a very odd car in the back of my house. There were rounds of gunfire going off, and, safety issue. We need to be looking out for each other, and if you choose to close yourself off in your neighborhood, really you're only hurting yourself. You need to be having these conversations with these people in your community, in your little neighborhood, so everybody can look out for each other. That's really, really important. You don't need to be an expert to make an impact on somebody. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Everybody you need is a third person away, and whatever it is that you are going through, if you open yourself up, like we do in my vision board class, it's the small little impacts that somebody needs in their life that they didn't even know that they needed. It's just important. This is why I teach. This is why I share stories. This is why I talk about who I am, where I came from, what my goals are, what I'm trying to achieve. Is it easy? No, it's not easy, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. And not everybody is you, not everybody is me, and nobody can criticize the way that you choose to do something that suits your personality, your talent, your gifts, your education, your knowledge. Not everybody has the broadband, the wherewithal to soak information in. It takes a lot to be intelligent. It takes hard work and diligent reading and research to become an expert in a field. Do I know everything? No, because there's a lot of responsibility that comes with knowing everything. And I don't ever want to come off like I'm a know-it-all, because I'm not. There are still things that I am learning. I'm still trying to learn about the whole cattle ranching, llama, sheep shearing thing. It's the things that you find interesting that you decide you want to do deep dives on. On the vision board, we talk about education. Do you want to further your education? I'm forever looking at online classes. That is how I learned to do the life coaching thing and apply it to my art classes. They were on online classes. Are you taking classes through your continuing education? It's what is bettering your life to give you more purpose, so you have a mission, so your life matters, and you are hands-on participating in something just to make the world a much better place. So I chose to teach somewhat formally, although I do like content creating. Everything that I've been through, everything that you've been through, it's a valuable lesson, and I'm repeating myself, but these are things that are teachable, that somebody needs to know, not only who you are, but your purpose and why you do the things that you do. If you are interested in taking the vision board class, it's based deep in psychology and life coaching. It is a fun, cut and paste art class, but there's so much that you're learning from, and so much that you will take with you. We start the board. I get you started on conversations, and then you take the board, what you don't finish in the class, and then just stay in contact with me and let me know how your board progressed from what you learned from the class that you took. But I'm Kitcher Marie. I do reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an artist, writer, speaker, a life and a business coach. I'll try not to stay away too long. Like I said, been really, really busy putting my house in order, because when you are organized and you declutter your home, it is a reflection of who you are, not only in your heart, but in your mind, and it allows you to see better things, and you're opening up space for new and wonderful things to come into your life. So, for today, for tomorrow, be happy, be blessed, be thankful for everything. Fate turns on a dime. It is up to you to decide what side of that coin you want to be on. If you're interested, reach out, Kitrin_Marie. at yahoo.com. I am located in St. Louis, Missouri. Again, I come to you, or I have a great location in Maplewood, Missouri, that you are more than welcome to book your group of 10 at $65 each. So wherever you are, whatever the weather is doing, we're in March. Get yourself together. Start a new exercise routine. Start a new skincare. Start purposely getting your life back in order. And don't forget, get that trust going. Get your will going. And make sure at the end of somebody's life, you don't have a new significant spouse fighting with your grown children. Y'all take care, and I'll see you real soon.